shocking weekend of sport. My goodness me. Absolutely shocking. Yeah. I mean, and it started with the cricket. It carried on. Yeah, it carried on with the rugby. And then to add insult to injury, Drickers lost on Sunday morning, which I got up for to watch. He just wasn't in the fight. And then in the afternoon, Brad Binder, I don't know, I stopped watching when he was ninth. Uh, thank goodness that yeah, the intelligent doesn't support Man United. So I'm not obviously in that camp. Um, oh my gosh, that is such a dig at every single one of my mates as well, because I'm a Liverpool fan, which which I wear a different color red, a different shade of red. I find ways of insulting people without even trying. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Well, if you want to add your kind of abuse, I'm a Lions supporter because I grew up, even though I've been in KwaZulu-Natal since 2000. Oh no, let me try that again. Since 1978. I support the Lions, as in Lions rugby in Gauteng. And yeah, yeah, it's been a couple of bleeding from the eyes years. So don't, I mean, we're bad as Man United. Very, very painful to support my team. But the first team you support is the last team you support. And that's the rule, despite me being in KwaZulu-Natal for almost, I don't know, 46 years. Yeah, oh my word, Deirdre, you worked at 4. My goodness me, that's insane, Deirdre. That is insane. Yeah, no, it wasn't worth getting up for, to be honest with you. It wasn't worth getting up for. So, why this as an opening to innovation? And if you look at the next slide, where we're at, my apologies, just to show you the slide that we're on. Where am I? Oh, goodness me, I'd opened the wrong slide. Oh. Why that slide? How's it, Tashila? Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely was, boy. It definitely was. There were some interesting fights there. There were some very impressive fights there. I think, yeah, sorry, let you guys tell me why I would use this in innovation and at strategic positioning. And it came through very clearly. Tony Brown had said it a number of times during the match. Russie admitted. Innovation is fantastic, but sometimes when you overdo the wrong kind of innovation, depending on the realities, Kira, I couldn't kid. I would never ever seen that. Oh my goodness me. It makes me feel like a gangster when you do that, man. Makes me feel like a gangster. I don't know if anyone saw the 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 prosecutor. It might even be the defense attorney in America referred to the the judge, the female judge, as "listen here, honey." Which, which, if you find the recording, it might even be "listen here, hun." Some real mansplaining moment. If you find it, it's well worth it. Oh my gosh, man, I didn't even see that. I could. It shows you how little I worry about silly things like that. But that's exactly it. And I think for that moment at that time, I think part of innovation is having the right resources. No, absolutely. I mean, there are a couple of memes doing the rounds, one in particular of what the Springbok supporters looked like during and after the game. And you're 100% right. I mean, he is an absolute genius. But the reality is to do that, you need to have the right resources in place. And I don't think we had the right resources. I'm not going to lay the blame at the feet of anyone because that's not what happens. It's a team game. But the resources weren't there. And also, I think complacency is very dangerous. I think we often see really good and really decent, innovative companies become complacent because you get this kind of success groove where you're so good at doing business in a particular way that you become irrelevant. Now, I'm not saying that that's the case with our team. We are going to smash the Australians this weekend, but it was a good wake-up call. And I think sometimes these kinds of moments are good. But it's a brutal slide to open on. But I needed to just share that I did cry for 10 minutes after the game. It caused me to stop watching, I think, before the game ended, so that I could watch what my wife wanted to watch. So on the one hand, the Springboks losing, on the other hand, my wife being happy with me. I'd rather have the Springboks win and my wife be unhappy with me, to be honest with you. She's sitting literally 2 meters away from me. So I'm taking my life into my own hands. So, guys, if I'm not here tomorrow, and I don't think, I honestly think that to play that game, Marnie is not the right one. But that I still think Sasha Feinberg is the best fly off in the country, and it suits his game better. Yeah. So, but can I just say, I mean, there are Marnie lovers who believe he is fantastic, but I really think that Sash is the best rugby player in the best fly off in the country. Anyway, let us look at my slides. So now that I've lamented my weekend, and we all lamented together in terms of every bit of South African sports that there was to watch, fortunately, the Lions did win. Guys, so when we look at strategic positioning, I think the reality is, as much as the resource-based theory and the ability to be innovative and the ability to maximize your resources and your capabilities and be dynamic about it, I think you also have to understand that you have to look at the realities of the environment that you find yourself in. I think the danger of really innovative companies, and I'm going to say this with a bit of a disclaimer, is that sometimes innovation converge on the edge of being gimmicky. It's that fine line between being gimmicky and something being an innovation. Give me examples of some gimmicky things that have been launched in recent times that you think is just sheer gimmick more than anything valuable. Gimmicky things that have been launched where you thought, no, man, this has just gone too far. And if anyone has any gimmicky things that have been launched, these new collectible monsters. Yeah, who has seen the collectible monsters? Pop art monsters. Who has seen those? Oh my gosh. Yeah, the pop art monsters. Now, watch Deirdre own one of these pop art monster. I think Deirdre is going to beat me with a stick. Who owns one of these? Please, please let it be Deirdre. Please let it be Deirdre. Deirdre, please own one of these.
I do have one, sir.
Your wife and the 8-year-old. Oh, well, boy. Yeah, 820 Rand. No, man. Okay, no, but yeah. What? Georgia, you've got two. Oh my gosh, Georgia Jade. I knew one of my nut jobs. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get fired from this job. Sorry, Georgia Jade. Oh my word, Georgia Jade, you paid $150 each. Um, where are they displayed?
Onto the ramp to Bloemfontein.
Viveshan was as busy driving. My goodness me, $150 for authentic one.
the
Yeah, go
Dubai
for it, Innovation.
that not be gimmicky?
100 meters, merge onto N1 Western Bypass.
Don't worry about that, boy. Deirdre paid. No, you didn't. Please tell me you did, Deirdre. Please tell me you did.
I did, sir. I paid
I
180
knew.
rand for fake
I
one.
wouldn't have predicted Georgia Jade, but I definitely predicted you. And then Georgia Jade went and bought the originals. I might not get one, guys. I might not get one. Sorry, Innovation. Can you talk now? Has Google stopped talking to you?
No, I'm on my way home. I wanted to ask about the Dubai chocolate. Was that not gimmicky as well?
Well, it appears that the Dubai chocolate is very, very popular. Yeah, the Dubai chocolates. What are they called? Because my son had to bring one home for his girlfriend. It was like 450 rand. I'm just going to go Dubai chocolates, Choco. They have become very popular. For me, that's a gimmick. That's a gimmick. It's not too bad. He's obviously bought an expensive one. Okay, again, 28,000. I can't. Oh, the Tamagotchi. Yeah. Can I just say, my wife made the mistake of getting rid of our Pokemon cards. Black bin bag. Can I just say, into a black bin bag? Some of the Pokemon cards are worth insane amounts of money. We've got a couple that we've rescued, and yeah, they are very expensive. So they are in the dollars, in the thousand. So Pokemon somehow has kept its value, but it's not enough for me to retire. Oh my word, Neil, that is so cool. Oh, I don't know, Kira. Everyone owns Crocs, and Crocs has reinvented themselves so many times. I okay, admittedly, I owned Crocs for a very small period of time, and my gardener took it over because I just kept leaving it outside. Yeah, so Crocs, they've become very fashionable. My son hates his girlfriend wearing Crocs, so what I did is I bought her a pair of these, which really made him angry. Well, I thought it was funny. It's headlights for your Crocs.
Sir, I'm a
Yes,
fashion
Kira.
person,
Okay.
and to me, Crocs are the worst.
They're the most
I'm sorry, I'm a
disgusting
girl who
things
wears
in the
heels.
world. They are honestly the worst things in the universe. No, I don't own Crocs. I don't own Crocs. I don't think anyone in my family owns Crocs. They are disgusting.
Yeah, but you know what? It's fine. If everyone else wants them, it's just my own personal opinion as a person of fashion.
Well, I know also that you're very religious. So how do you explain judging people for their fashion sense?
Um,
Don't answer.
um, well, I guess it's up to personal taste. You know, if you want to
It's
wear
a lack
Crocs, I
of
won't
taste,
judge you for it.
Kira. It's a
I just
lack
don't
of
wear
taste. It's a lack of taste, not personal.
it.
Oh my
Probably true
word.
as well.
Again, Tatisi has how many people have Crocs here? Yeah, Brakpan. Oh, my God, I'm going straight to hell. Oh, I don't know. I might be sued or fed to them. Oh my gosh. Your kids do, but for kids, they're fine. They, oh my gosh. So I've learned two things that I'm very good at predicting, Deirdre, and that Georgia Jades can still shock me by a heck of a lot today. So, my word. JJ, that's 25% extra just for shocking me. Okay. Oh my
Just
word.
I have a pair
Go
of
for
Crocs
it.
as well.
Sorry, Mavishan.
I said Georgia might shock you again and have a pair of Crocs.
You have a pair of Crocs. Oh my gosh. Now I saw that there was extra bits added to that. Crocs with socks. Oh, who are the Crocs with socks people here? Because I really want to point and laugh. Crocs with socks. Oh, yes. Yeah, no, I see the high heel Crocs here as well. My wife says you get high heel Crocs as well. Oh, goodness me. Today might be after this weekend um really destroyed my faith in South Africa. Okay. Oh my Lord. You love wearing your Crocs in the house, like hugs for your feet. Gabri, what the heck is going on here? You love wearing it's like hugs for your feet. Um oh, oh my gosh. So to just say, guys, you're not allowed to write exams in Crocs. I think everyone's aware of that. There is a varsity college policy that says that. Oh my gosh. Now someone says Ugg boots. And don't tell me Ugg boots and I search for it and it's going to be something dodgy that pops up here. Ugg. Oh dearie, what are we looking at? Boots. I can't even sell Ugg boots. Not boutique. Ugg boots. What are Ugg boots? Guys, can anyone recommend or see Ugg, are these Ugg boots? Oh no, yeah, no, that is really not it. Oh my gosh. Sarah listens and doesn't judge. I judge every single person here. Guys, just remember all of this when you evaluate me. So I think key in terms of whatever you manufacture is that you have to have a customer base. So clearly Crocs knew when they launched that there will always be people with bad taste and that those people would purchase. Please just remember to do this in your evaluations. Does anyone know where Croc boots came from, guys? Where Crocs came from? Not that kind of Croc, guys. Does anyone know where Crocs came from? And this is bad, your foam. Foam. Oh my word. I think I'm losing my mind, but there was a movie, Idiocracy. Um, I don't know if anyone has seen Idiocracy. Um, Idiocracy. It's a movie about a guy that gets high. Gosh. So Crocs comes from Idiocracy. Idiocracy is a movie about a guy that gets cryogenically frozen back in the past, and he's one of the dumbest people back then. And then they defrost him in the future, and he is the most intelligent person in the world. And he comes into this future where everyone wears Crocs. So I'm going to let you take the story about the Crocs a bit further in your mind. Please watch Idiocracy. I promise you, it is the reality that we're in now. The dumbest people are in charge. Please find Idiocracy and watch it. It is well worth the watch. I can't remember what here in the future they predict, and I don't really care. But oh my gosh, and there are lots of this stuff. Why it's so relevant now? But it's about the dumbest people being in charge. And this unintelligent army guy, I think, from the past, soldier from the past, comes back as the most intelligent person on the planet. I think I've insulted Crocs enough now, and I'm going to have to be really nice in the marking because I think I'm going to get nailed in my evaluation for this. So, guys, also remember you have to innovate in terms of creating products and services that people want. But also, I mean, can I also just say, we don't know how far we can stretch our imagination in terms of what we can innovate. If you have the right social media person doing the right thing with your product, you have a hit. So it's very difficult also in the modern world where you have influencers convincing us to purchase certain things, what might be too gimmicky. So in terms of the strategic positioning, there are a couple of things that we need to ask. Now, from a Porter's Five Forces perspective, and I know there's 4 questions there, I think the first one is the fact that you have to look at those five forces. Who remembers the five forces? Oh, they are here. Remember, power of the buyers, power of the suppliers, power of your competitors, power of substitute products, power of I'm missing out on one, new entrants, or the potential of new entrants. The five forces, Porter's five forces. And it's important that you realize that no matter what you do, no matter how you position yourself, there will be counteractions, activities. Also, the other truth is, remember, sometimes you need a supplier who can provide you with the inputs to create the product that you want to actually get on a shelf. Barriers to entry. Give me examples of industries where barriers to entry are low. And this is quite a tough question. Industries where barriers to entry are low. That's it, Nadia. Absolutely. Informal stores, crumb chicken, clothing. It's quite tough to get into the clothing environment in South Africa. And that's why Mr. Price, when they launched, is so impressive, because they got what we refer to into a red ocean type environment. And I know you guys know blue ocean and red ocean. Most industries are near impossible to enter, but it appears at this point in time with the Chinese and the Chinese vehicles that there is zero barriers to entry if you're a Chinese manufacturer and want to launch new models in South Africa. I believe 2 new Chinese vehicles will be on the roads very, very soon. And it's insane how it appears that if you are a Chinese type factory, South Africa provides no resistance. Unless you want to provide electricity, now that might be another story, because I promise you, pieces of legislation would prevent you from getting anywhere near doing that. And then substitutes. So other than, oh no, I can't do this, I'm going to get fired. Other than good taste, what is another substitute for Crocs? I'm in so much trouble, guys. I think people go vision.
Torn shoes.
What shoes?
Torn shoes.
Torn shoes.
Yeah,
Torn.
Yeah, anything would be
Torn. What are torns? Oh my word.
100 meters. Take exit 5 for M17.
Okay, so it's torn, Torn. Please don't make me torn boots. Oh my gosh.
I mean, like badly damaged shoes. Anything could be better than Crocs.
5, then slide right on.
Today. Oh no, I think Birkenstocks. I think, oh my heavens. Yeah, who has seen what Birkenstocks look like? Yeah, I think Woolworths sell Birkenstocks. These prices can't be real, man. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, oh, and Yeezys. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I think a nice substitute for Crocs would be bare feet, actually. Guys, and then we've got to look at how strong our customers, our suppliers, our regulators are. And I think in South Africa, regulators play a significant role. Prices are real. Holy guacamole, Neil. How many kidneys have you sold to keep your family in shoes and in toys? The reality is, guys, depends on how strong, how weak it is. Yeah, no, the jelly shoes. Oh my gosh, I give up. I give up. I give up. Um, I'm sitting in t-shirts, shorts, and slops, so that gives you an idea what my style is. Okay, guys. So in terms of the strategic posture that you adopt, I think in the ideal world, you will always be the first mover. There's this wonderful term that talks about the first mover advantage. In terms of the first mover advantage, this is when you are the Google of your industry. It is when you create a blue ocean, when you are the first competitor there, and there are no, oh my word, Deirdre, Neeman, Birkencross. Okay, we've gone south today. I think first mover advantage, it is like being it is like being the Google of your industry. Absolutely share that, Nadia. So the reality is, when you're the Google of your industry, we talk about creating a blue ocean, and there are some companies that are really good at that. Uber, absolutely 100%. Wonderful example of Uber. The fast followers, we know who the fast followers are, including Lyft. Neuralink, 100% first mover, although they have got some competitors already. I think my favorite thing is that if you are the first mover, you are likely to have your name in the Oxford Dictionary. And it's a strange one, because the first vacuum cleaner was what? And some people still use the term. Does anyone's parents say that they're hoovering even though they're using a different vacuum cleaner? It's absolutely Hoover. Hoover is in the Oxford Dictionary. Anyone use the term "I'm busy hoovering" when they're just vacuum cleaning with something different? I think it's the older generation that do that. Please don't tell me anyone here hoovers when you read it in storybooks. Okay. Come, somebody here in their family must have somebody who says, "Oh, I'm busy hoovering," even though, ah, not in fairy tales. I think for me, there are still people that say that. Who uses Bing to Google? Your dad says it. Very cool, Michal. Very cool. Nothing wrong with that. Who uses Bing to Google? Generally, when I open on Bing, I Google so that I can get to Google so that I can actually Google. And if that made sense to you, you get R1,000,000. The second one is fast follower. So in terms of our Uber example, who were the fast followers? And let me tell you guys, Uber will appear in the dictionary one of these days. Lyft, very, very, very cool. Yeah, Lyft, very close second. I mean, others that followed, Bolt, very much there. So the fast follower is the person that waits for someone to do the trial run, to go and test the waters. And remember, 100%, Sarah. And remember what a first mover is. You're the pathfinder. You're the guy who goes into the dark and you create the best practices for that particular industry. So it is very difficult to be a first mover, because if you're a fast follower, you already have a set of best practices to follow, because you've seen what the leader has done. I can tell you now, mark my words, Uber will appear in the Oxford Dictionary if it's not there already. Does anyone want to check that for me, whether Uber is in the Oxford Dictionary? Oh, we can do it together. Ah, come on. Oh my, no, no, no. My apologies for that, guys. So at this stage, it's Uber as in German, Deutschland über alles, sorry, Deutschland über allen. Okay. So it's interesting. Yeah, Uber Eats, Mr. D, absolutely. Yeah, and if the one thing you want to avoid, guys, is be very careful when you use Uber Eats. They are the most hacked app in the world in terms of credit card details. So always create a virtual card if you're going to order from Uber Eats. Uber Eats is the most hacked app around. To also just say my Uber app was hacked a long time ago. Fast follower. The nice thing about a fast follower is that you see the lie of the land. You understand and you can observe the best practices. The first mover creates those best practices. They are the pathfinders. They step into the dark without using a torch. Deirdre, do you use a virtual card or do you use your normal credit card? Be very careful with that one, guys, because Standard Bank warned us. And then strategic implementation. Yeah, Checkers 60/60, the gold standard in terms of essentially being the first mover and getting that first mover advantage. And now the others are trying to catch up. I mean, first mover advantage, Apple and its first smartphone. I mean, people own a tablet and will call it an iPad, even though it is a Samsung. Let that sink in for a second. I have students who own a Samsung iPad, but a Samsung tablet. Let me try and get that right, but we'll refer to it as an iPad because that's the reality of being the first mover. Any other examples like that where people use one thing but call it something else? Who has a pool cleaner at home? Because you don't have a pool cleaner at home. What do you have at home? You have a what today? You have a creepy at home. I don't know if I've got a creepy crawly, but I refer to it as the creepy. It might be a barracuda. I'm not sure about that. Creepy crawly, yeah. Let me tell you, when you guys talk about your pool cleaner, what do you call your pool cleaner? And most people will call it the creepy because I know I do. That also describes my neighbor. You call him by his name. Okay. So, guys, in terms of strategic implementation, yeah, it's two of our most famous. It's two of our most famous innovations. Absolutely. I mean, the other one is it was called an APS machine. It's one that stimulates muscles, etc., for healing power. I think it was called the APS machine. Hold on a second. This is another one of our famous ones. I'm going to say APS machine. I don't know if it is the one. Hold on. Yeah, APS therapy. Here it is. This was invented by a guy from the post office. Made him so much money. He bought on the right side of Neisner, right at the mouth. The APS. We've got a cheaper version of it here. Okay. Guys, so in terms of that, we also have to look at where do we get our resources. And remember, the truth is sometimes those resources will come from suppliers. Most modern organizations are simply assemblers. I think when we think of Volkswagen, Volkswagen is not a manufacturer, although we'll talk about Volkswagen as a manufacturer. Absolutely, epoxy 100% also a South African invention. I mean, that is, yeah, super glue on steroids. If we think, for example, and my mind has gone sideways, Volkswagen is not a manufacturer. All that Volkswagen really is they're an assembler. The manufacturing happens on an outsourced basis with suppliers. They simply assemble. I mean, everything, every laptop. Dell is not a manufacturer. Dell simply assembles different components that they obtain from different suppliers. So part of the resource acquisition is finding a supplier that will build some of the components that you need to Lego block together to create the item that you want to sell. And then the truth. And poor Rusty and them didn't do this quickly enough on Saturday. They did not devise contingency plans. Einstein's definition of insanity, anyone want to share that with me? Einstein's definition of insanity. Doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. And I think that's when you don't have contingency plans, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Nice, Georgia Jade. Very, very cool. So in terms of devising those contingency plans, it is the on the move, making changes, adding, repositioning, doing whatever is necessary to remain relevant in terms of the environment. So when we look at where it starts, everything starts in terms of strategic management with a powerful vision. Anyone want to give me a definition of what a vision is? Please don't write vision creates vision, because then you'll sound like my third years who in their first semester exam wrote things like, what is a manager? A manager is someone who manages. What is a vision? How do we define the term vision? I love that. The invisible hand guiding the organization. I might steal that one, Neil. I've not heard that before. That is very, very cool. Invisible hand that guides the organization. Very, very, very cool. For me, there are a couple of things when I think vision that spring to mind. The first one, absolutely what a business wants to achieve. For me, a vision is the ambitious future, the dream future an organization sees for itself. I think I use this in class. It is so when we talk about, oh my goodness me, don't worry, I don't know how to spell lion. It's this one, guys. I don't know if that is shining large enough on there. For me, that's a vision. It is the dream future you see for yourself. It's the ambitious future. Like, oh, Deirdre, that is such a beautiful one. And that thing about inspiring, it is an essential feature of it. Can I just say, guys, to me, a vision is both inspirational and aspirational. A vision should inspire people to aspire to do great things. And for me, when you get that right in an organization, in particular from an innovation perspective, and we can look at Google, it is the ability to inspire so that people aspire to create magic. That is a wonderful, wonderful definition. And can I just also say the other reason why vision has become so important is if you focus on shorter term plans, the world is so insane that if you don't have this overarching guiding light, this lighthouse that we travel towards, the simple truth is that you are going to get messed up by the mundane. You will try and keep up to changes. You'll make changes because something has happened, that there's a new trend. The vision guides you against that. The vision, that ambitious future, essentially allows you from a broad perspective to prioritize and to understand what we need to do, how to allocate resources. I mean, the other thing, and it's not really what I wanted to talk about. Oh my gosh, hold on a second. But it allows me to draw. So I know that you guys are hugely excited now and that you can't contain your anticipation for what is going to follow. But the truth for me also is that your vision sits up there and it provides a framework within which you take decisions, within which you allocate resources, within which you create a structure, within which you build an appropriate culture, etc., etc. One of my favorite visions, and I'm so sorry, it's a really old one, but I've not found anyone any other that is as good as this one. When Nokia looked at their vision towards sort of 2010, and they achieved it a lot quicker, is their vision was that voice would go mobile. In about 2008, and my dates might be out by a year. Absolutely. We're gonna make an NFT out of this, but we're gonna make an NFT out of this. And in 2008, Nokia's new vision, because they had achieved voice goes mobile, their new vision was that life goes mobile. And if you think of a vision that explains where smart devices have gone, the truth is life goes mobile is such a powerful vision. Now, obviously, Nokia never saw that happen. They got into a success groove, and their story has been told. But the idea of life goes mobile, and we know that without our phones, most of us are lost, because life indeed is, well, they are, Neil, I agree 100% for it. It's art. It is what you think it is, Deirdre. Art is not to draw a picture, it's to interpret, it is to consume, it is to have emotional reactions to. Or that is pretty cool, Nadia. How cool is that? I might not buy that. The Birkenstock. Stop right here. Very cool, Neil. Oh my Lord, we are in serious trouble in this class. Now, can I just say, no one watches our chats down the side, and people say, oh, but you laugh all the time. But I think, because you guys don't see what is said in the meeting chat. And also, if you're going to listen to my stuff and you're not in my class, then who cares what's in my meeting chat? Okay, guys. So the first bit is your vision, and I think the reality is, in terms of this Nokia vision, if you are, if you are, where am I here? If you are a marketer, you know that every time you speak to a customer, every time you design a new advertising campaign, the job of that is for life to go mobile, is for life to go mobile. To also just say, if you are an R&D person, a scientist, a research and development, every time you write a line of code, it is intended for life to go mobile. So we sit in a situation that it provides a reason for being for every single person in the organization. Oh, really? Boy, I don't watch my own recording because I hate my own voice. So it's a pity, because people need to see this. Right. And then the next one, I think a couple of things that are non-negotiable. It's great to have a vision. Remember, that vision has to be broken into a mission statement. You guys would have done this in third year, so it's unnecessary for me to do it. But remember, we go from vision. We might have discussed it in another module as well. We go from vision to mission statement. And then remember, we go to value statement. Now, your value statement essentially is used to assess the rightness of your vision, the fact that there are many ways of making money, but there are very few ways that allow us to do it ethically. And that's why that value statement. And remember, from there, we have our long-term objectives. We know that in terms of long-term objectives, we generally will use the balanced scorecard, and that is cascaded into annual objectives, and annual objectives are cascaded into operational objectives. And remember, the endpoints for long-term objectives would be the strategy. So the endpoint is the strategy, the endpoint is the long-term objective. It's been a long day. The road that we travel is the strategy. As slick as molasses, guys. That's how I am. And then also, top management has to walk the talk, which means allocating budgets. pointing people, empowering people, allowing people to make mistakes, allowing people to take risks. And then we have to make sure that no matter what happens in terms of these genius revolutionary changes, that on a daily basis, we try and continuously improve, that we try and make as many kaizens as possible, small continuous improvement suggestions. And all of this needs to be supported by policy, because remember, policy facilitates decision making. So you want guidelines where we show people that they are empowered to make magic happen. Now, most of you have seen this, and I'm sure we've discussed it. So remember, resources are the things we own. Capabilities allow us to maximize what we can get out of those resources. And we spoke about this. Dynamic capabilities is your ability to remain relevant, is your ability to constantly reinvent yourself. Give me examples of companies that manufacture things now that has nothing to do with what they were manufacturing when they started, that have changed so much that the original reason for existence cannot be found. What did Samsung start manufacturing, Neil? Go for it, Maveshan.
Hawaii.
Huawei.
Yeah.
Hawaii is an island near America, boy.
Yeah. They started with tower. They started manufacturing towers and air conditioning ducting, and then they went into
my
the.
word, I didn't know that. Well, very, very cool.
Some of the old hospitals, you'll still see the air conditioning ducting there.
No, we've got a Samsung air conditioner in our room. No, in one of the places. Okay, no, yeah, I've got an LG. I think in my lounge, in the second lounge, we've got a Samsung. Okay. You think it was rice? Oh my gosh. Okay, LG as well. I mean, remember LG used to sell in South Africa as Gold Star, and Gold Star manufactured TVs, and now LG will give you everything that you need in terms of your household, anything that you imagine. Imagine where Amazon started. Amazon essentially was a book delivery service, that books and then CDs you bought online and it would be shipped to you. Oh, you got Amazon taking people to, they sold rice. Oh my gosh. I mean, that is insane. Remember, Nokia sold rubber boots. Nokia started by selling rubber boots. Amazon started by doing online retail of books and CDs. Colgate made candles. Oh my word. And it just shows you what it means to reinvent yourself. And that's what dynamic capability is, really what dynamic capability is. And if you don't reinvent yourself, you become Mr. Video and Blockbuster Video, while Netflix were reinventing themselves to stop delivering videos to your door and collecting them, and essentially now one of the biggest online suppliers of movies and entertainment. Right, and that is the end of that learning unit. Any questions, any comments? I'm not going to start new, guys.